Hello, my friends, hello, and welcome once again to Stately Vaughan Manor, where Roger and I have returned for another amazing video. It's amazing. It's really not that amazing. But today we are talking about everybody's favorite dumb challenge, the 500 book challenge. The challenge where I have to read 500 books that I own before I will buy any new ones. And it's been a while since I have bought any books for myself. And it will be a while before I buy any. What am I at? I'm on 160. I'm on book 160 out of the 500. So yeah, it'll be a minute before I buy any more books. But the challenge is going well. I'm enjoying myself reading all of these books that I already had, or that people have sent me. But there are some books there are definitely some books I would buy if I weren't on this dumb challenge. And it was suggested to me, somebody suggested that I make a video about the books that I would buy if I wasn't on this dumb challenge. And I thought, yeah, why not? I'll make a video on that. Sure, I will, because there are some books I definitely would buy if it wasn't for this challenge. And I put together a list of 10 of them. They're in no particular order. It's not a top 10 list or anything of that sort. But here are 10 books I would read if it wasn't for this dumb challenge I'm doing. And so first on the list is Hemingway, A Farewell to Arms and Other Writings. This is from the Library of America. I collect Library of America books. And I really like Hemingway. I know it's unfashionable to like Hemingway. I know it's the thing now to dislike Hemingway, but I like Hemingway, so there. And even though I have all of Hemingway's books, I would buy this volume because I love the Library of America. I have a ton of the Library of America's books, and I definitely would buy this. I don't think it's out yet. It's upcoming. It's coming out. And I probably won't get it for a while. But yeah, Hemingway, A Farewell to Arms and Other Writings, definitely would pick this one up. Next, Hellboy in Love. It's Hellboy in Love. So, this is a comic. It's a graphic novel collection. And when I started this challenge, comic book, graphic novels, and collections, they weren't part of the challenge. But I made them part of the challenge because, you know, I'm an idiot. So, I could have actually gotten this because this came out at the end of 2023. I think it came out last December. And if I'm remembering right, comics weren't part of the challenge yet. Or graphic novels and comic book collections weren't part of the challenge yet. And so I could have gotten this, but I didn't. And now I regret it. Because I love Hellboy and I love all things Hellboy. And I've got a ton of Hellboy and I don't have this. And I haven't read the stories in this. It's not very long. I think it's like 150 pages. But I don't have these stories, and I would like them. I would like to read these stories, but it'll be a while before I do. So there's that, Hellboy in Love. Moving on to number 3, Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey, which of course I've read and have many editions of. But this is an edition edited by Peter Green, and I've never read it, and I'm very curious about it. And if I were still buying books, I would buy these volumes just to read them and see what they're like, because I'm always interested in different translations of Homer. And I would really like to read these, but alas, I never picked them up. And then the 500 book challenge happened. So yeah, these are books I would buy and read if I wasn't on the challenge. Next, and this one is something I really regret. This is Clark Ashton Smith, The Collected Fantasies. This is a series of 5 or 6 books, I can't remember. And I do have these books as ebooks, but I do not have physical copies of these books. And I realized reading the first volume of this, the first ebook version, that the ebook is badly formatted. It has paragraph breaks where there should not be paragraph breaks. And it's really annoying. I mean, stuff like that is really annoying. I don't know if the rest of the volumes are like that or if only volume 1 is like that, but still, it annoyed me. and I know it's not that way in the physical copy. And I regret not getting physical copies of these books because Clark Ashton Smith is amazing. Just an amazing writer. One I will be talking more about in the future, I hope. And it would really have been nice if I had picked these up, but I didn't. Darn it. So yeah, there's that. And the next one's kind of similar. This is Algernon Blackwood, collected short fiction. Now these are new though. These are new. These have started to come out since I started the challenge, I believe. And these are volumes that are edited by the great S.T. Joshi, the great editor of weird fiction. He edited the definitive volumes of H.P. Lovecraft and a lot of other writers. He did the Penguin Classics edition of Clark Ashton Smith's works. And he came out with the collected Arthur Machen, which is amazing. And this seems to be a similar series of books. And I really wish I could get these because these look great. These look great. So yeah, definitely would get these books if I could, but I can't. So there's that. The next one is Rome and Persia by Adrian Goldsworthy. Adrian Goldsworthy is an author I like. I like his volumes of ancient history. He did probably the best biography of Caesar that I've read. And he's written a bunch of ancient history, like popular ancient histories. And they've all been worth reading. And so this is one that I really would like to read. I'd like to get his take on the tumultuous relationship between Rome and Persia. And so, yeah, definitely would get this book if I could. The next one hurts my heart that I can't get it. This is Superman, the Triangle Era Omnibus. So in the early 90s, there was a Superman comic book that would come out every single week because there was Superman, there was Action Comics, there was Man of Steel, Adventures of Superman. So every week you would get a Superman comic and they would kind of continue. It would be this everlasting story that would just pop up every week, done by different writers and different artists. And it was great. It was just a great time to read Superman. I read it every week. And now those issues are coming out in this omnibus. And I can't get it. I mean, this is probably, out of all the books on this list, this is the one I would want the most, I think. And I can't believe I can't get this book. But it's my own stupid fault. And of course, it's an omnibus volume. And once these things go out of print, I mean, they sell out really quickly, and then they go out of print. And then by the time I'm actually able to buy this, it'll be $1,000 or something ridiculous. So that sucks. It sucks that I can't get this one. That is unfortunate. So there's that. Next, Conan, City of the Dead by John C. Hawking. I've actually read half of this because this actually collects 2 novels. And the first novel was one of the Conan pastiche novels that came out from Tor back in the 90s. I believe it was the 90s when this came out, when the first part of this came out. But the second part has never been published until now. And this is one of the Titan Conan books that's coming out nowadays. And I would probably get all of these as they come out. But I can't. But I would definitely get this book. I'm curious about it. I've heard good things. Okay, so that's that. Number 9 is a book or a series of books that I thought I had but don't. This is the Korum series by Michael Moorcock. Moorcock, who is justly famous for his fantastic Elric series, one of the greatest series in fantasy fiction. And Korum is another series of fantasy books, which is very highly regarded. And I did read all of these books, I think, in the 90s. I think I read these in the early 90s. And I don't know what happened to my copies of these books, but they seem to have vanished. The phantom of the library has come and stolen my copies at some point during the last 30 years. And so, yeah, I would definitely pick these up if I wasn't on the challenge, because this was a good series. Michael Moorcock's pretty great. So I would get these. Next and last on the list Haron Ellison Greatest Hits. This is a brand new Haron Ellison collection. Haron Ellison, great writer, just a fantastic writer, who sort of became less popular over the years because his books kind of went out, they all went out of print. And part of that was that they were collections of short stories, which are never as popular as novels. And part of that is that I think he was just difficult to deal with, so publishers just decided not to deal with him. I've always really liked Haron Ellison. I like him as an author, and I've always been entertained by him. I've seen him talk many times on videos and things, and I like him. But of course, I've never had to deal with him myself. And he was, you know, famously difficult. And I'm really glad that this collection has come out. It's just come out. Like I said, it's brand new. It has his most famous stories, the award-winning stories. I think I have every single one of these stories except for maybe one of them in other books. And I do have this. I do have the Essential Ellison, which is gigantic and is actually probably, well, almost certainly the better book of the two. So I don't really need this, but I would really like to have it. I would really like to have it. I'm happy to see that Haron Ellison is being published again by a major publisher, or I think it's a major publisher, or, you know, it's not a print-on-demand thing. It's a real publisher. So it's good to see Haron Ellison back in print. That's great. So I would get this book if I could, but I can't. Damn it. So yeah, that's it. Those are 10 books I definitely would buy. I definitely would get them if I wasn't on this challenge. But you know, it is a challenge, which means it's supposed to be challenging. So there, I will get these someday, you know, in my 60s, whenever it is I'm done with the challenge. So yeah, there's that. I will see you tomorrow for my weekend reading report. Until then, you have a good day.